So many playoff teams in one city. The Lions,
Who would have thought?
the Lions, the number 1 seed last year in the NFL. The Tigers won a wild card series and then went down to the wire against Cleveland. And then you have the Pistons making a playoff appearance for the first time in a long time. Red Wings take out March, and we have a different conversation.
Maybe by Yzerman's 15th year, they'll be in the playoffs.
Good point.
Yeah,
Good
it takes
point.
15 years to build a franchise.
Good point. Well, we're getting, close to a decade of not making the postseason. So I think I know my answer of who is not going to be the answer for this coming segment. But with so many teams playing well right now, which team do you think at this point in time has the best chance to win a championship?
I'll take the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you will.
Because they are just, I think they have a more complete veteran sort of mold and culture on the team they've had it for a little longer than the Tigers. The Tigers are still kind of figuring out like how good they are. I think the Lions kind of know how good they are. And so they're, the way they approach everything, games, practice, all that stuff is built on that. And so I think they are in a better position, but I will say they had their chances, man. They had their chances. And so you look at the last 2 seasons for the Lions and they couldn't get it done. It makes me feel a little bit like maybe it's the Tigers because they don't have that baggage. They have like all that hope in front of them. And not that the Lions are, don't get me wrong. I picked the Lions, don't forget.
Yeah.
But the Tigers have more like, we don't know what's possible in front of them. So, but if I had to pick, I'd take the Lions.
I typically go into these kinds of debates just like which team is the safest bet to get into the playoffs, because once you're in the playoffs in both of these sports, I really feel like any team in the playoffs can win. So as I look at the teams around the Tigers and the Lions, I think the NFC North division is sort of burgeoning with all these good teams, whereas I see the Tigers rising as sort of the cream of the crop in the AL Central. So I'm going to go with the Tigers just because I do think there's a good chance that they're sort of a playoff regular over the next couple of years. And the way that they're built is very, very dangerous in a short series in the postseason, because you can pretty much rip off a win in game 1 with Tarik Skubal, right?
Yep.
And then if you're in a 3-game series, you're probably getting him back for game 5. So just that security and the way that the entire team is built, I really feel like, and I'm just worried about that offensive line, the Lions offensive line.
I agree with you. I think that the Lions have more questions than the Tigers at this very point in time.
Yeah.
That's my one. But I agree with you. And I agree with you to an extent, Ken.
Well, it is June.
I'm in the middle. It is June. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said at this point in time, it is June. Still a lot of things for both or all of these franchises to answer. But we are all out of time on DSP. For Derek, for Ken, I'm Hobie. We will see y'all next time.